A few weeks ago, we sent out an e-blast on stress featuring just one word in the body text, stress question mark. Our email software monitored that 57% of you were too stressed out to spend more than 5 seconds wondering what the email was supposed to be about and did not click through. Some of you, of course, 4 or 5 days later came back to look at the e-blast, so on our software we can just see the level of hits that are going on for that particular blast, which speaks volumes about how much you lot are under. So we're going to be dealing with stress over the course of the next couple of months. I'm going to be running a series of articles, and I'm also going to be doing the Ghost and the Machine seminar at Dorking in the UK on the 8th of July. More about that. That's about the mind-body connection. This month's e-club, we're going to be looking at potential link to behavioural problems, prompts advice to parents over diet. And this is all linked in with the fizzy drink thing. If you have children, it's pretty important to understand what effects the food might be having on them. If you are looking at this and you have children suffering from anything from dyslexia to obsessive compulsive disorder, attention deficit disorder, or any of these other alphabet soup mental conditions, most of which are fabrications, then find out more about this. I have a whole book on this called The Mind Game, and also the Little Book of Attitude. Teeth Under the Spotlight, we've just recently concluded an interview with Dr. Bill Kellner-Reid. The excellent Dr. Bill is, of course, an author and dental physician. His book, Toxic Bite, is everything you wanted a dentist to tell you, but none of them really do because they're charging by the minute. More concern about the risk of Wi-Fi in schools. The wireless internet is coming on board in a big way. There are electromagnetic frequency concerns, especially if people are working around it all the time. So you can't see my office here, but I have chargers. I have 1 million chargers, cameras, things like anything that needs charging. You've now got a little black box for it. You've been noticing this happening. And now they're looking at some of the old Tesla technology to try to find out how to make all of this wireless, and yet these articles can still use electricity beamed to them through the air. There are problems with EMF, electromagnetic frequency, affecting or damaging the body, creating a healing process that doesn't switch off, which is, of course, cancer. China sentences the ex-head of its FDA to death over drug company bribes. The penalty in China is death, according to this article. In America, it's business as usual. The former head of China's Food and Drug Administration has been sentenced to death for accepting $832,000 in drug company bribes and for dereliction of duty. Well, of course, if those rules applied in America or England, we would not only have a proper health system, we would be able to get rid of an awful lot of people who have been lying to the public for years. And a classic example of this has cropped up just in the last few days, where now we're told, according to a study that has just been concluded, that if you have breast cancer, eating healthily and exercising can cut your risk of death by up to 50%. Now you tell me there are charges of criminal negligence out there for people who have been bad-mouthing the Campaign for Truth in Medicine, my mission, and also many others speaking out about the effects of diet and cancer, and now all of a sudden it's real because the newspapers are reporting it. We have here aging process. If you are a pensioner, exercise is going to help the aging process. It's going to keep you going longer. You have better quality of life. Exercise is not walking fifi around the cricket pitch. It's getting out there, sweating and glowing, getting the heart rate up. Some good exercises to do would be stair climbing, hill climbing, and just generally getting the heart rate up to the degree that you're able to. If you have an existing condition, consult your doctor. Doctors will prescribe fish oil to help heart victims. More research out now about the effects of cod liver oil, the essential fats, on cardiovascular wellness. 6 million Brits are malnourished, say experts. We're big as houses, we have no problem putting the grub away, but we're dying of malnutrition because what we're eating is chemically and nutritionally unsuitable for the human body. So most of us will be tucking into a meal tonight which won't even support bacterial life, let alone a 10-year-old. A simple trick also to help your memory by moving your eyes. Dr. Joseph McCullough reports research coming out of the Manchester Metropolitan University in England. Moving your eyes from side to side for about 30 seconds which politicians have been doing for years, may be all it takes to give your memory a boost, according to researchers at that august establishment. We have a PC corner. I'm probably not going to include this in the bulletin, but let's cover up some of the things that are going on in the popular press today. We fear you'll slide into dictatorship, Blair warns Putin. Blair just about to sign Britain away into the European Union for all time, of course, the greatest dictatorship we've seen in the 21st century in Europe so far. A full moon brings out more thugs, say police. A full moon doesn't just encourage werewolves, it also brings out the worst in the great British hooligan, police have discovered. So now every time the full moon comes around, we're going to see more bobbies on the beat. Article here discussing where sausages come from. Apparently, studies just recently done show that thousands of British children believe bacon comes from sheep and that cows lay eggs. This presumably is also because in the schools now they're not being taught proper subjects, they're being taught chocolate, space travel, celebrity and all of these trendy subjects rather than what's actually going to do them some good. The Royal Air Force cannot any longer put lascivious reclining women on their aeroplanes, as this will offend the female ratings. Danger down at the allotment. If you have a vegetable allotment, you might be required in the future to take out £5 million worth of public liability insurance, not just because there are prickly thistles to contend with or rows of fruits and veg to trip over, but somebody accompanying you down to the allotment might do themselves a mischief. So you're going to need to pay. Oh, how you'll pay. A couple more articles and then I'll let you go. We have pesticides linked to Parkinson's, an article on that. Phone mask locations are now being kept from the public because some of you have been so effective in getting these people to take their masks away and put them where the sun don't shine that now they don't want you to even know where they're going up. And they're doing sneaky things like disguising or camouflaging these masks as street furniture, you know, on the street lamps and on the sides of shops and things like that. The weekly health tip will be to do with plants. I won't give the game away. Why you'll want to keep your baby away from the TV, not that the TV is somehow going to suck your baby into it. Worse than that, it's going to completely wreck your child's ability to have a normal life because of impairing linguistic and social skills, as we see with a whole generation of kids currently growing up. Book of the month, The Handbook of Energy Drinks by Maria Costantino. Juice, 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 juice. Make sure it's veggies. Juicing large amounts of fruit will do nothing but give you candida and a growling belly like you've just swallowed a marine distress flare. So fruit's great. My watchword for fruit consumption, by the way, is don't juice more of the fruit than you would eat of it. So don't get 15 oranges and juice them up and drink that lot down, or you will be having not a very good day after that. Ghost in the Machine, I mentioned earlier, is going to be looking at aspects of the mind-body connection. It's a fascinating one-day seminar that we're putting on in the summertime. Beautiful rural setting in Surrey. We're going to be looking at Rhonda Byrne's The Secret, the pros and some quite serious cons to what she's talking about there. Also, Seth Godin's superb Purple Cow. Some of you running businesses who are wondering why sales are leveling out, you're not doing very well. This is how to be remarkable in some very interesting ways. We're going to be looking at how to recover from illness, how the mind plays a major role in affecting how you view what's happening to you. Lastly, I'm going to be doing a series of one-evening cancer seminars right the way across the UK, everywhere from Glasgow right the way down to Bournemouth. So stay tuned. We're just putting the schedule together. This is going to feature the latest information on cancer research, both nutritional and drug medicine. We're going to be looking at what's really working, what the cancer patient should be thinking about, what they need to be reading and what they need to be eating in the light of research just out over the last 6 months or so. That's it. June looks like shaping up to be quite wet in the UK, but elsewhere I'm sure you pay your rates, so you've got fantastic weather. Have a great time. Do check into our Creedence supermarket at some time. We've just been stocking up on a whole new load of items there. Otherwise, I will catch you in July. Have fun.